Yeah. If you see the formula, the standard error is only changing. As I stated in hypothesis, there are different types of methods. The only value which changes is the standard error, the only formula which will be differing. So it is under root of PQ by N. Why we are using proportion? Because N is very big, N is a large sample, and out of that we have very few items, very minimum. Only minimum values, either they are defective or we are picking it as the probability. That is the reason there is a change in the formula. Instead of multiplying it with NPQ in the previous case of number of successes, we are just taking a proportion of that sample value. So the formula is changed to under root of PQ divided by N. And obviously the difference of hypothesis testing is obviously the given value minus assumed value.
Minus assumed value.
Okay, girls. So in hypothesis testing, there is also one more formula. Certain times they ask us the limit. What is the maximum value and what is the minimum value? If it is like defective items, how many minimum defective items we can get, or how many maximum defective items we can get when I'm picking a basket of apples. Yes, if I take this kind of scenario. So using the limits, I can also say, yes, this is also one important formula you can highlight based on the example. If they ask us to find out, instead of testing the null hypothesis like we did yesterday, they can also ask us to find out the limits of the sample. Okay, girls. So in such scenario, you can see P is nothing but the success. Whatever P which I am using in the standard error, the same P is nothing but the success plus or minus 3 into standard error. Okay, girls, it depends. Whatever values you have as per the given information, based on that you can take any of the formula. If P is not there, if it is not success, if mean value is given to you, which is X bar, so it is X bar plus or minus 1.96. That means it is at 95% level of significance. Similarly, let me assume if they are asking us at 99% level of significance, it will be 2.48 into standard error. Okay, girls, the formula is same. It depends here. This is at 5%, and here this is at 1%. Okay. 1%. Am I clear with the formula part?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can we continue with the question now?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll just continue with the question, ma'am. Again, I'm telling you, these are not exam point of view questions, but they are basics. If as now you have 4 marks questions, in 4 marks you can expect these kind of questions. Okay, they are small, they will not take much time. You can expect these kind of questions like yesterday's number of successes, today's proportion of successes. You can expect in your section 1. Okay, I'm just going with the problem, girls. If you have the material, you just see. If not, I'll try to share the screen with you. 1 minute. Yeah, if you see the third problem, I hope everyone can see the third problem now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. 500 apples are taken at random from a large basket and 50 are found to be bad. Estimate the proportion of bad apples in the basket and assign limits. Proportion of bad apples and assign the limits which the percentage most probably lies. So they are asking us the limits in the form of percentages. So what is given to us, guys, as per this question? Is everyone having the material?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we have material.
One more thing, girls, if you see in the question, they clearly asked us, they are just asking us to find out the limits. Yes? So as it is limits, when it is limits, there is no need to take a null hypothesis like we took yesterday. Okay? No need of a null hypothesis. So I'm just going to take the given information. What is N value? How many apples are there?
500.
500.
Are there. Out of them, defective apples are 50.
50.
50.
Defective apples are 50. Now,
50.
can you tell me what is the success, girls? We need to get PQ values also in order to calculate standard error. Our standard error formula is under root of NP divided by Q. PQ divided by
PQ
N.
divided by N.
So, what is the success according to this? If you read the
1
question,
by 10.
if you read the question, they are asking estimate the proportion of bad apples in the basket and assign limits. Yes. So now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
what is success? Estimate the proportion of bad apples. So
500.
getting a defective apple is nothing but the success. Yes.
Success.
So
Yes, ma'am.
obviously P is nothing but basic
Yes,
probability
ma'am.
formula, number of favorable cases divided by total number of
So
equally
number of
likely cases.
Total number
favorable
of
cases.
Yeah. Now what is number of favorable cases? It is nothing but the defective apples, which is 50, and total number of equally likely cases is nothing but our sample,
3 by
which is 50
500.
by 500. So P is nothing but
1 by 10.
10.
1
So
by
based
10.
on this, Q is 1 minus P, which is 9 by 10. Okay,
9 by 10.
girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now they are asking us P plus, I mean to say, they are asking us to find out the limits. So now I hope we have all the values. We need to find out even standard error. Better we will do it prior only. So P is 1 by 10 into 9 by 10 divided by N value. So now what is the standard error value?
0.134.
0.134 as per what I calculated and solved. Okay. So now can I substitute all the values? So P
अरे मोड़ कर डाली आगे आगे
So when I substitute 1 by 10 minus 3 into 0.134 is one value, and 1 by 10 plus 3 into 0.134 is the other value. We got the
ఫేర్ ఫేర్ గా అనిపిస్తున్నది కదా ఏంటి
Sorry, sir. The answer we are getting is 0.01.
Sorry, I made a mistake somewhere. Just check it out 1 minute.
Ma'am, it's 0.0134, ma'am.
0.34, ma'am.
Which one, ma'am? Upper value or lower value?
The standard error
See,
value.
standard error value, ma'am.
Okay. 0.0134.
0.134.
0134.
Okay. So you changed the same thing in my book also, in the material what I shared. Now these values will be changing.
తింటారా ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు
0.0402.
థర్డ్ క్లాస్
Plus 3 into 0.0.
0.0402.
And 402. This is what I got when I substituted both of them. Now again I used calculator and I got these values. Check whether they are correct or not.
Yeah, ma'am, they are correct.
Yeah. So now these are the two limits which we got. But in the question they are asking us to find out the percentage. Okay, girls? So percentage means
Yes,
nothing.
ma'am.
Multiply the probability value into 100. So the first percentage will be now 0.0598 into 100. So it is 5.98%,
5.98.
2 and 14.02%. So in a basket of 500 apples, there is a range. The defective apples can be ranging from approximately 6% to 14%. You can write that as the interpretation. In a basket of apples, defective apples can be ranging from 6% to 14%. Okay, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you understood the problem. Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
In the material what I shared, I also wrote number of apples also. You can get the count. So always if they're asking us how to get the number of defective apples is multiply whatever probability value into n value. We did yesterday as well for this. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So now shall we go to the next problem?
Okay, ma'am.
Any doubt, anyone? Can I continue with the next problem?
No, ma'am.
I'm erasing this part. Okay?
Ma'am, can you once
Okay, ma'am.
explain the value where we have to take that null value?
Which one, ma'am? Null hypothesis.
Yeah, ma'am.
For this question, they're not asking us to test the hypothesis. They're just asking us to find out the limits. So for this problem, there is no need of taking a null hypothesis.
Okay. Is there a question about the
Nowhere I used assumed value. You can see, nowhere I took assume. All information is given. They only gave us there are 500 apples and out of them there are 50 apples which are defective. Only from these two values we extracted all the information.
already recorded from you.
Okay, if mention hypothesis in the question, then only we have to
Then
take the
only
null
you need to use it. That is what we will see. Fourth question you will understand. Now in the third question they clearly mentioned only limits.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma? Can I proceed?
Yeah, ma'am.
Pull up handbook and pull up handbook and అది స్కూల్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇస్తున్నాం అట్లాంటప్పుడు ఇంకెవరో క్లాసులు చెప్పొచ్చు మనం రెస్పెక్ట్ చేయాలి కదా
There is a discussion going on. Kindly mute the video.
పూజ
అవునా
చాక్లెట్ మొత్తం
అవునా చాక్లెట్స్ చాక్లెట్లు లేవనా
80 rupees 40 rupees 40 160 వచ్చి ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఒక ఆయన ఒక పౌడర్ వేసుకుంటూ తెల్ల వేసుకుంటూ చాక్లెట్ చిప్స్ వేసుకుంటూ స్టాక్
Who is talking there? Kindly mute the audio.
వస్తుంది తెలుసా
Yeah.
Ma'am, please, you only mute all the audios, ma'am.
చూపిస్తుంది సిచ్యుయేషన్
ఇప్పుడే పోమన్నా నీకు
Girls, we'll just see the next question.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And out of now in this, the fourth question. I hope you all can see the fourth question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Now you see the
Yes,
fourth
ma'am.
question, girls. A wholesaler in apples. Okay, again, it is an example of an apple only. Yes, a wholesaler
Okay,
of an
ma'am.
apple claims that only 4% of the apples supplied by him are defective. So this is the statement a wholesaler is telling. Out of the apples he sold, only 4% of the apples, whatever he sold, are defective. A random sample
Defective.
of 600 apples contain 36 defective apples.
36 defective
Name of the wholesaler. Okay, a random sample of 600 apples contain 36 apples defective. So always, girls, the second statement is nothing but the given information and the first statement is nothing but the assumed information.
Assumed information.
Now they're asking us to test the claim of the wholesaler. When it is question testing the claim of the wholesaler, that means the first statement will go to be the assumed statement, and whatever is the second statement which is directly given, there are so number of apples and how many of them are defective is nothing but the given information. So this is how you need to understand. So now what will be my null hypothesis? Can you tell me? What is the claim of the wholesalers? They're asking us, test the claim of the wholesaler.
Wholesaler.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they're asking us, 1 minute. Yeah, they're asking us to test the claim of the wholesaler. And what is the claim of the wholesaler? That 4% of apples
4% of the apples.
defective. Yes or no? Agree?
Yes, ma'am. Agree,
So
ma'am.
now, how many, what is our n value? I need to find out the assumed value from this statement here only. Girls, whenever you are taking a null hypothesis, from that whatever you can extract, you need to extract then and there, because later you will be getting confused or you will be missing out that particular value. So now 4% of 600 apples, the total number of apples are
4
600.
apples.
Understood? So what is the assumed value?
24.
24 apples are defective according to the wholesaler. Yes or no? So this is our null hypothesis. Now is it clear, girls? In this question, they are nowhere speaking about limits. They are only asking us to test the claim of the wholesaler. That means it is nothing but we need to take a null hypothesis, which we didn't do it in our previous example. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what will
Yes,
be?
ma'am.
We will just go to the given information as well. Now, what is given to us? N value is given to us
N is
as 600.
600.
600.
Out of them, the defective apples are
36.
36 apples. Understood? Anything
Yes,
else
ma'am.
is given?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, what
P
else
and-
we need to get? We need to find out P.
Success rate.
P means
Every time, girls, now if you see,
36
in
by
order to find
600.
out P, there are two values. One is 24 and one is 36.
36.
Don't go with the
36.
assumed value. P will be always derived from the given
Given
value
value.
only.
Given
So,
value.
the number of favorable cases are 36
36
divided
by
by total
600.
number of cases are 600. So now what is the
6 by
fraction here?
100.
0.6.
6 by
0.06.
6.
So based on this, Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is nothing but 0.94.
104.
94.
Okay?
0.0.
No, 1
Yes,
minus
ma'am.
0.06 is 0.94. Check.
94.
0.94.
I think we have all the values now.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Difference we
Yes,
have given
ma'am.
value and assumed value. For standard error, we have P value, Q value, and N value. So our standard error formula is under root of PQ divided by N. So 0.06 into 0.94 divided by 600. The value is
0.0096.
96. Now, what is,
0.0096.
now the difference is given value minus assumed value.
Assumed
Given
value.
value is
Assumed value.
36 and assumed
6
value is
and assumed value is
24 and the value
24.
is the difference
12,
is
ma'am.
12. Now hypothesis testing, the formula is difference divided by standard error. So it is 12 divided by 0.0096. Now what is the value?
1250.
250.
Yeah, this is our calculated value. And in this question
Calculated
also,
value.
they didn't mention any level of significance. When it is not asked, obviously we will take it as
5%.
at 5%. At 5% level of significance, okay, the tabulated value is 1.96.
1.96.
Calculated value is obviously greater
Is
than
greater than
tabulated
tabulated
value. So reject
value.
H naught.
H naught.
So that means the claim of the wholesaler is absolutely wrong. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
The wholesaler's claim
Yes.
cannot be accepted.
Accepted.
Understood, girls? The wholesaler's claim cannot be accepted. So this is how. Is there any doubt in this?
Excuse me, ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, I
Ask
wanted to
me,
ask
Julia.
that in this question, there are no limits given and etc. So how do we like find which formula of standard error we have to use? This one or the other one?
Okay, for standard error, you need to identify which formula will be applicable to this respective question. That is your,
Yes.
that comes under practice. Yes. Now I just gave a heading of it is for proportion of successes. Now using this formula, you need to identify what kind of example I can use under this. If you see the main difference I want to tell you, Zuveria, in yesterday's problems and the proportion of successes, our number of favorable cases are the maximum value is only 2 if you see. Yes or no?
Yes.
We just took a coin. One problem which I asked you to solve is about a dice. Yes, our p value is hardly 0.5. But now if you see our n value is very, very big. So when n value is huge, in such scenarios, you can use standard error formula, which is under root of pq by n.
Okay. Okay.
Understood, Zuveria?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done. Any doubt, girls, in this?
No, ma'am.
Can I proceed to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
We will also see one more type today. Now, whatever question I'm going to tell, I mean, whatever type of standard error I'm going to tell, you can expect this one in exam. So just make a note for the third type. Now we completed 2 different types. Now we are seeing difference between proportions.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So now when it is difference between proportions, the formula for standard error till now, whatever examples we saw, we have only one sample. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Till now, whatever we saw, we have only one sample. Now, in this particular standard error, you can see there are 2 samples which I am naming them as N1 and N2. Okay? And I try to call it as standard error of P1 minus P2 because the difference is nothing but success of first sample and success of second sample, which
Second
is nothing
sample.
but P1 minus P2.
P2.
And now here there is one more value which is P. It is a common success for sample 1 and sample 2. It is an average success for sample 1 and sample 2. That is the reason there is a formula for it, which is x1 by plus x2 divided by n1 plus n2.
Plus
and
N2.
obviously q is nothing but 1 minus p.
P.
P1 is success of first sample. P2 is success of second sample. Whereas
Second sample.
P is the average success of sample 1 and sample 2.
Sample
Okay.
2.
Any doubt in this formula representation? I hope all the values are clear. If you have doubt, you can ask me.
No, ma'am.
For what we represent x1 and x2, ma'am?
Yeah, x1 is nothing but they'll give you in the question itself. X1 is nothing but the given value for sample 1 and x2 is nothing but the given value for sample 2. You can take those 2 values as given values.
Okay,
In
ma'am.
earlier case, in the previous examples, there was only one given value. So we just directly took it as given value. But now as we
Given
have 2
value.
samples here, I'm just naming the given values as x1 and x2.
X2.
x2. Okay.
If we see the example, it will be more clear. Okay, girls? I'm just
Okay, ma'am.
sharing the screen of the question now.
Okay, ma'am.
I think fifth question. Everyone are seeing the question, no? In a random sample of 1,000
Yes,
persons from town A, 400 are found to be consumers of wheat. In a sample of 800 from town B, 400 are found to be consumers of wheat. There are two towns A and B girls, and first town population is 1000 and second town population is 800. So out of
800.
yeah. So here our success is consumption of wheat. Who are the consumers of wheat is our success as per this particular example. So in town A there are 400 consumers of wheat, as well as in town B there are also found to be 400 consumers of wheat. So do these data reveal a significant difference between town A and town B so far as the proportion of wheat consumers is concerned? So now, okay, now I'm back to the screen. Now, when there are two samples, from now you will be getting in hypothesis testing, you will be getting two samples, girls. When there are two samples, always you can take null hypothesis to be there is no significant difference between sample 1 and sample 2. Girls, again I am repeating, if there are two samples in your hypothesis testing question, and these kind of questions you can expect in your exam for sure. Okay. So when these kind of questions you are getting, you will be taking the null hypothesis will be always same when there are two samples, where you will be telling there is no significant difference between consumers of wheat. I'm just writing it in short form, consumers of wheat in town A and town B. Am I clear with this statement? Any doubt in this? There is no significant difference between consumers of wheat in town A and town B. Am I
Town
clear,
B.
girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll just directly go. In this, we will not be taking any assumed value, because in difference, when I gave you the difference, there is only the success of first sample minus success of second sample. So there is no assumed value when there are two samples. So obviously, no need to derive any value from null hypothesis. My null hypothesis ends here. Am I clear in that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I will go to the next part. First, we will obviously calculate the standard error. So if you remember, our standard error formula is under root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. Okay. Clear, girls? So now for P, I want the formula for P is X1 plus X2 divided by N1 plus N2. That is how in the material I gave what is N1 and what is X1 and what is N2 and what is X2.
N1 is 1000.
X1 is 400.
X1 is 400.
Even
X2
is also
400.
400.
N1 is 1000 and N2 is
1000 and N2 is 800.
So using this, I got P value to be 0.4444.
44.
Using this, I also got Q value to be as 0.55.
0.55.
56, I think so. Anything, both are same. Yes? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now I got PQ value. Substitute this, the standard error value after calculating all this, what did we get? 0.0235. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
After substituting P value, Q value, N1 value and N2 value, we got the standard error value to be as 0.0235, and the difference is nothing but success of P1, success of sample 1, town A and success of town B. So it is nothing but consumers of wheat. So number of favorable cases is consumers of wheat divided by totally equally likely cases, which is the population. And 400 by 1000 minus 400 divided by 800. My difference value is 0.1. Okay, guys?
Yes.
Understood?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Then using this, if I substitute them in the hypothesis testing, difference divided by standard error. So it is 0.1 divided by standard error value is 0.0235. So what is the value? 4.253.
4.253.
So again, in this question also, they didn't mention level of significance. So we can take at 5% level of significance. Tabulated value is 1.96. So calculated value is greater than tabulated value. So reject H0. So when it is rejecting H0, the opposite statement we need to conclude. There is a significant difference in the consumption of wheat in town A and town B.
Town B.
We took there is no significant difference as a null hypothesis, but it got
Yes, ma'am.
rejected. So that means there is a significant difference in the consumption of wheat in town A and town B. Any doubt in this question, girls?
Oh,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Is it clear to you? Any doubt you can ask me? Because with this I conclude the class today. Any doubt, girls?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay then, bye. Tomorrow on Monday we'll continue with the class again. I'll also tell one more problem on this type
Okay,
on
ma'am.
Monday, and then I'll continue with the next method. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, girls.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.